This is Pooh and the guys go to English class. It's a project which has been undertaken by Steve's class. It's been put together by Vitravel on doing all the digital side of things, all the technological side of things, and Kana, one of my Japanese students, she took care of all the animation and the drawing, and then all the students got together and have done all the voices and everything. The idea behind the presentation or behind the project was to improve fluency and speaking and try to bring the language to life. For all my past students, I'm sure you're going to love this because we all love the Tao of Pooh. All right, enjoy. Bye-bye.
One lovely morning, Pooh was walking through Marion Square in Dublin. He was on his way to the new English class which Christopher Robin had recently set up. Pooh loved walking through the park and often got distracted by the many things there were to do, especially the playground. In fact, the week before, Pooh had got so distracted that he missed the first half of Christopher Robin's class and missed the entire lesson on the past perfect, which was a disaster. So, Pooh continued on his way to school and said a little hello to Oscar.
Hello, Oscar. How are you this lovely morning? Feeling a bit pepped? Me too, but it's so hard to find good honey these days.
And so, on he went whistling to himself, listening to the birds, and wondering what Christopher would be teaching the class in today's lesson. Christopher's class had grown very large as English had become so popular in the world, and he was such a good teacher. All the guys were there. There was a piglet, tiger, owl, kangaroo, Eeyore, rabbit, who were all from the 100-acre wood, Jung and Min from Korea. So at last, Pooh made it to class and knocked on the door. The class had started 29 minutes earlier, so Pooh was just in time. Otherwise, he'd have had to wait until after the break. Christopher was very chilled out, and he didn't really mind too much.
Pooh, glad to see you could grace us with your presence. And why are you late this morning? Let me guess. You got hungry and stopped off for a little snack on the way?
When Christopher said the word snack, Pooh's tummy immediately started to grumble.
Well, I'm hungry, but no, I was walking through the park and maybe I was daydreaming and I took the wrong turn and then I was in the playground. I must have gotten lost. Yes, that's it. I think I got lost.
Piglet was one of Pooh's best friends and had gotten lost while he was going to school the week before.
Pooh, you got lost. Poor you, Pooh. Were you scared? I got lost last week and I was ever so scared. I had to ask a young Irishman the way to the school and he
Said Janie Mac, where are you from? Ah, you're looking for the school, are you? Well, you go to the lights, you take a left, then a right, then you go straight,
And then you'll see a tall tree. At the tree, you take a right, then straight, past the big blue door, and then you get to the train station. When you get to the train station, then you'll see an old chemist called Swenny's. When you get to the Swenny's, then you just have to walk through the Essendon Road, then through the park, and then you're more or less there. Do you hear me? Do you get what I'm saying? Jeez, you look a bit confused there. What are you anyway? A pig, is it?
I got so confused. I just took a taxi. I don't know where he was from, but I couldn't understand a word.
Eeyore had heard this story one too many times and was less than impressed. He muttered to himself.
Oh, lost again, Pooh. You would lose your head if it weren't screwed on.
John overheard Eeyore, who he thought was hilarious, and burst out laughing.
Eeyore, you're a gas donkey. That's a good one. I've never heard that expression before. I'd better light it down. Min, did you hear that? Eeyore is hilarious.
Min was pretty tired as he had been working late the night before and hadn't got to bed until 2 a.m.
Sorry, John, what? I'm half asleep here. I need a coffee or maybe a pint. Actually, I just need to go back to bed. I'm work.
Pooh was sorry that he had interrupted the class and tried to explain what had happened.
Well, no, Piglet, I wasn't scared. In the playground, I decided to go down some slides because, well, they looked like so much fun. And they were.
At this Tigger, who had been unusually quiet, finally woke up.
Slides? Slides? Did someone say slides? I love sliding. Sliding is so much fun. Chiggers are the best sliders in the world.
Owl was sitting with his wings crossed, and he was just about to go crazy, as he hadn't come to class to talk about sliding and getting lost. He had come to learn about more important matters such as grammar. Christopher had told them the day before that they would be learning the past perfect, and he just couldn't wait any longer.
Enough of this nonsense. Christopher, tell Pooh to sit down so that we can learn the past perfect. I haven't come here to waste my time.
Kanga could see that Owl was getting agitated and felt that he needed to calm down a bit.
Oh, now do you remember when you got lost on your way to school on the first day? I think you should be a bit more sympathetic. It's nice to be nice, you know?
Rabbit agreed with Kanga and
Well, yes, I fully agree with you, Kanga. I think we've all got lost once or twice in Dublin. And yes, it costs nothing to be nice, nothing at all.
Roo had heard a word that he didn't understand in the middle of all this commotion, and he put up his hand to ask a question.
Christopher, what does nonsense mean?
At this, everyone started shouting. Christopher's patience was wearing thin at this point, and he needed to get his class back under control.
Okay, hold your horses, hold your horse. Can everyone just calm down for a minute?
Horses? Horses? Chiggers are the best at holding horses. There's no one better in the world at holding horses than chiggers.
Jung and Min were absolutely loving the way the class was going.
This is great.
This class is so funny. Yeah, it's such outdoors. We never do anything.
Eeyore was less impressed and he grumbled to himself.
Oh, all these noises give me a headache. Could everyone just tone it down a couple of decibels?
Owl was beginning to freak out a bit.
Christopher, expected more from you. Hold your horses. Complete nonsense.
What does nonsense mean?
Asked Roo.
It means that something doesn't make sense.
Said Kanga.
Yes, that's what it means. I'm sure of that.
Added Rabbit.
Well, no, I don't think that hold your horses is nonsense. I'm sure, well, maybe, I'm not sure, but I think maybe, well, it means.
And Pooh tried it to explain what hold your horses meant. Owl interrupted.
As if you would know Pooh. Sure, you haven't even been to university. You would have to go to university to learn English like that.
Well, let's see. Who would like to tell us what it means? Will everybody please be quietly while Pooh explains?
And for once everyone was quiet, and they all agreed to listen to Pooh as they hadn't a bull's notion what hold your horses meant. Pooh started to explain.
Well, now I'm not sure. But do you remember when we went the horse racing in Puncheston?
Oh, yes, that was a great day. But the horses were so big and scary and powerful,
Said Piglet.
I lost my shirt that day.
Added Eeyore.
And do you remember the horses in the gates before the race and they were all getting ready to run? And they may keep asking the jockeys to hold their horses because they were getting excited.
Yes, I remember. He shouted it a few times. I remember.
Said Rabbit.
Well, I think that hold your horses might means stop or wait or maybe be patient. Oh, maybe that's silly. I'm not sure. Oh, I'm ever so confused.
Well, Pooh. We never says to amaze me. That is exactly what it means. How many points do you think I should give to Pooh for his wonderful explanation?
Christopher asked the class.
5?
Said Zong.
Definitely 5. It's worth 5 for sure.
Agreed Min.
5 points, it is. Now on, some things you won't learn in university. Usually the most important lesson in life you will learn from experience. Never forget that, okay?
Christopher looked suddenly at Owl, who was now beginning to feel a bit embarrassed for being mean to Pooh. And so the class went on in a similar fashion with mind bombs being dropped all over the place. Christopher explained that hold your horses was an idiomatic expression, which was an expression that had meaning, but not literal meaning. They learned that Eeyore hadn't actually lost his shirt at the races, but in fact had lost all his money gambling, and that even though Owl was a know-it-all, he didn't actually know it all, And Piglet was a scared cat, although he wasn't a cat. At the end of the lesson, everybody was mentally exhausted, and as it was Friday, and they could chill out for the weekend, they all decided to go down and say hello to Mr. Burden and have a Guinness and listen to some traditional Irish music to wind down and start the weekend in some style.
Dublin's first city, where the girls are so pretty, I first set my eyes on sweet Molly Malone. She with her wheelbarrow through streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. She was a fishmonger, and sure was no wonder, for so was her father and mother before. They both wheeled their barrows through streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. She died of a fever, and no one could save her, and that wasn't the end of sweet Molly Malone. She comes into her room, says hello to our class, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. Bravo.
Let's go.